Hello, it's Joe Buck here with all the latest Newcastle United transfer news for the Shields Gazette. Now, after a slow start of the window, it's really really burst into life for Newcastle transfer-wise, but not really for the incomings as might have expected it heading into the window. It's really been the outgoings that have been taking centre stage recently. Now, Newcastle United have not signed anyone yet. They've been linked with a few players, but money's tight, so really it's going to be some outgoings that have to be needed to fund those incomings. And we've seen in the last few days, including today, on Monday as recording, players like Kieran Trippier, Callum Wilson and Miguel Almiron all linked with a move away from the club. We'll start with Kieran Trippier first. He's the most high profile links, and we all know that Bayern Munich are interested in him. Newcastle obviously reluctant to lose their vice captain and one of their most influential players, certainly the last seasons, probably ever since he's joined the club really, he's been immense. So Newcastle will be reluctant to see him leave, but if they can get money for him, they're 33 years old, if they can recoup similar amounts of what they paid Atletico Madrid back 2 years ago for his services, then that might be one that gets done. Trippier, obviously you can't begrudge a person who wants to move to Bayern Munich and trophies that they're going to win, and going deep in the Champions League as expected. So I certainly want to keep an eye on, and one that Newcastle might be forced into if moving happens on that. Similarly with Callum Wilson, now he's been linked with Atletico Madrid. He's also been linked with AC Milan recently, so there'll be potential movement on that. I think that one is less likely purely because I think those clubs involved would want a loan with an obligation by the end of the season. Newcastle need the money now if they want to do any business in January. But again, that could be one that they see free at wage budget and guarantees a sale in the summer that they might feel they have to do. Now Newcastle aren't in a position they have to do anything. We know that, they're not on the edge, they're not like Nottingham Forest, Everton. There's not going to be points deductions coming their way. They're not forcing to sell anyone, but the club will feel that, if they can get money for these players who are the wrong side of 30 in their eyes, they're got, a few years after the prime. They're not bad players by any means, but especially in Wilson's case with the injury issues, they can't get money for someone like Wilson. You feel they might go for that. But for the last one, is Miguel Almiron. He's been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. Now, reports suggest there's nothing too advanced at this stage, but Almiron could be one that is allowed to leave. He's not had the best season in front of goal in recent times. He's still a very good player and very key player for Eddie Howe and his squad. He's talked about Almiron numerous times and what he brings to the team. But again, Newcastle feel they can get an offer for him that they can then reinvest in the squad. Then that might be one that they do. It doesn't seem too advanced, but with the January window just shutting in 10 days time as we speak, that could be one that goes in the last few days of the window. And then if that happens, you might see other moves starting to happen. Calvin Phillips, he's been linked all winter, but he could be one that eventually joins if money is freed up, and that would only happen by selling a player. So it could be one where I think Newcastle will have to wait for these offers to come in, for these clubs to solidify offers, and if they can get any of these players sold, or if they choose to sell any of these players, and then that becomes the first domino to fall on what could be a very active last few days of the transfer window. And of course, the best way to stay up to date with all the latest Newcastle United transfer news is with the Shields Gazette.